back. The property is located at 9 Golden. Okay. Come on up to our podium. For our record, we have received a survey map. That'll be part of the record. Your application is part of the record. Your explanation of the criteria, I'm not going to barrel. Bottom line is you're moving it back. You're maintaining the same sidelines. It's just a relocation on an old camp.
Yeah, and I'm the architect. Judy and Greg are at a
The neighbors don't oppose, right? I saw a letter in the file from a neighbor that said, we don't care, right? That's one neighbor. How about
Yeah.
any other neighbors?
No.
Lori?
No, I have no other name.
Did everyone get notified?
Yes, within
Oh.
500 feet.
500 feet, nobody responded?
Nope.
Now, I noticed the deed is from Creighton Allen. Creighton is my copier guy. I didn't do this deed. Does he need to be notified as a former owner?
No,
I wouldn't think so.
And he doesn't care either. He's not, his camp's out there, right?
I don't know.
Thought he had a camp up there. But anyway, so nobody opposes this request, right?
No.
All right, and you're moving back from what does the city think on this one?
Well, the only reason I have you doing it is I can't authorize him to remain in the setback and not move it to the 15-foot setback without your blessing.
Is it your opinion then that he loses his grandfathering by virtue of moving the building back?
Yes. I just can't give approval, that's all.
Does the city care otherwise?
Nope.
Can he move, all right, the setback is now what, 35 feet?
No, 15 feet on the sideline.
Okay,
Oh,
this is
so-
just a sideline problem?
Yes, this is just a sideline.
When you say 15 feet, that's the code?
That's our shoreland zoning code,
Okay,
is 15
and
feet.
right now it's 8.6 feet?
Right, so that would be considered grandfathered if it remained in the same location.
And he needs to move back 10 feet?
He needs to move his new home, they're gonna take this home down and reconstruct, but I've asked them to move it back 10 feet because there's a well behind them.
Okay.
Well,
So-
if he moves it straight back 10 feet, then he's still gonna not have the side back. side-
Right. But the well is kind of in the middle, and so if.
Is there any other way to reconfigure this?
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks to me like there's a lot of ways that you could reconfigure it and meet the code
The
without
issue-
moving the rock.
Can I? The issue that we ran into is, so the current camp is 11'3" at the furthest point from the current
Mhm.
property line, and I think it's 9' something at the smallest. So we were proposing that we would keep that 11'3", use the front corner, and just straighten it out. The big issue is there's a rock there,
Mhm.
and we would rather not have to blast that rock for
How
a whole
big's
lot
the
of
rock?
reasons. What's that?
Is it one of them
How
big,
big's the rock?
It's big. I don't know if you have the survey there, but you
it's
can
a Green Lake boulder, isn't it?
It's a big one.
I grew up with it.
And it also is, there's character that rock lends to the site, and we'd rather, keep
Look,
that.
here's what I'm gonna do. Government is here to help people, and sometimes things don't fit neatly. I say that all the criteria that we require are in his report, and I'm gonna vote to pass this thing without further ado. I understand others have different views, but I say we make a finding that all criteria for variance are met. Nobody's complaining. It improves it going away from the lake. The camp is in pretty much the same location. This is my objection to government's interference with people's rights. You're improving the place. If
Unfortunately, Jeff, we have rules we have to follow too, or if not, you don't like them or not.
well, you can vote against it, and I
can,
think everyone else has a vote too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make that motion that we approve this request. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any more?
But I'd like to discuss it for.
Okay, we'll discuss it
Allow
more.
discussion,
Sure.
So, it looks to me like there's several ways to relocate that camp without, and still get your side setbacks. Without moving the rock.
Well, I mean, there's other property there, but there's another camp behind it. So if we come further towards that rock, we have to blast the rock. We're maintaining the same width of the
Why
camp.
would you have to blast the rock to come?
Because the house, the new home would cross the path of that rock. We have to put a foundation in. and we would have to take the whole rock out,
Mm,
at least a good chunk of it.
eh,
And if we move further over, we have the rock issue, but then we also block the view from the other camp,
Who owns the other camp?
the same owners, the Olsons. So it would decrease the value, I would think, of that property by taking away that view.
Have you had any cost estimates for removing the rock?
We have not, but it would, we did find that it would require blasting. It's not in a situation where it could be split. It would have to be blasted.
Mhm. So how big is the rock?
It's, well, if
There
you
it shows
scale off
about
of this,
16 by 16. How tall is it?
it's, what comes out, you can see it about this, no, actually, I think it's about this high out of the ground.
Mhm.
So, and that's just what we can see, so
There's probably some below ground.
quite a bit.
Yeah. Mhm.
And whenever you blast, there's other risks that come in,
Yeah, you gotta get a license blasting.
yeah. But sometimes
But-
windows break and it's not desirable.
How far from the rock will the new camp be?
It will be in approximately the same, so you guys have the survey, right?
Yep.
I do.
I can show, do you have, there was an A110 sheet that shows the new building over the footprint of the old building. Do you have that?
No.
No, we know, I didn't get that.
Okay, I can, if I'm gonna.
Yeah, just come up here and show it to us, right?
Okay.
And if you can make a print off and provide it to Lori after the fact,
So, this is the existing,
building.
yeah, and this would be the proposed new building. So it stays within the same general footprint, and that rock is, you can see,
So you're gonna go way back here.
Correct.
Show Steve that.
Mhm.
So that's the existing, and that's the new, and then you can see the.
Does this increase in the
line.
size of the camp cause any problems with shoreline zoning?
Oh, I have
Away
already
from the
talked to
rock.
them and
Is
told
the
them
rock
what their
showing
limits
us
are
if
It is
in
not,
that
it
zone.
is not.
So we're all set that way.
We're not gonna
But
get a letter from
follow
DEP
that
saying we
line
lose
straight
our.
Oh, no, no, no,
that's
no,
where-
no, no,
That's the
no.
distance.
Okay.
I've
So
been
what
out
if you
there
did it like
to
this?
discuss with him, and that's
That would.
the furthest I can get them back in that location because of the well.
Okay.
This is actually, there's a lot of erosion happening right now that we're gonna try to correct. There's a lot of water that comes down this
Yeah,
way.
but that could be corrected.
Would you wanna see that? So that's the existing, and that's the proposed new. So we're trying as best as possible to keep it in the same place. Did you,
No, I'm good.
so that's the new
Yes.
footprint and the existing.
See, if this
Oh, I
had
see it.
Eric in
Yep.
Salisbury, he'd like it a lot better.
You are so.
I crossed it out and put Eric in Salisbury in the corner.
You're such a douchebag.
Steve, do you have any other questions or concerns?
Well, my concern is that I think you could relocate the camp and leave the rock and I just had a short discussion with, I didn't get your name.
Joshua Tunick. Joshua Tunick?
Tunick?
I think
Joshua,
what you had sketched out looked like the existing,
It's the exact same footprint of the existing.
of the existing, yeah, but
And it's
we're,
moved back 10 feet, and
Right.
it gives you the sidelines you need.
but we're making it larger. That's part of what we're doing. That's why this is happening, so that we can get them more space.
Well, if that's the case, we should see that, we should have seen that plan, shouldn't we?
He submitted a
Yeah.
shoreline zoning permit that I told him I couldn't approve until we got this done.
But we've discussed the plans and we're within all the criteria.
So, are you making the camp wider?
Nope, the width is staying the same, it's just getting longer. And we're gonna be, a good portion of it is gonna be beyond 75 feet.
So when you go beyond 75 feet, you get, with our alternative rule that we've adopted, from 0 to 75 feet, the maximum is 1,000 or what is grandfathered, so basically what is there. When I now make them move back, if he can get back to the 75-foot mark and continue building, he can have an additional 500 square feet.
How are you gonna get back to the 75-foot mark
The length of the home, I think, is what it was.
without interfering with the well?
Oh, no, we're gonna redig the well.
Okay.
There's no choice there.
Yeah. All right,
So
you're
all
ju-
of the things are in compliance, right,
Yeah.
Laura?
You're just going straight back to get the 75-foot setback, right?
Correct. And to comply with the request to move it back 10 feet.
Well, if you move it back to 75 feet, aren't you more than 10, aren't you moving
Well,
it more
He's
than 10 feet?
not
Just
moving
the
it back
front.
to the 75 feet. The back of the home would be at 75 feet, where that would allow them an additional 500 square feet.
You don't have to have the front of the building be 75 feet from the shore?
Nope.
Greatest practical extent.
The what?
Greatest
Greatest-
practical extent,
So he's good, except for that sideline.
Yes.
essentially.
I say we grant it. These are small Green Lake lots that we're gonna be adjusting for the next 100 years. Otherwise, they're just gonna get old and cave in and nobody will replace them. So, I vote that he's met the criteria in his application and would grant this variance. Do I have a second?
I already seconded
You
your
already have.
earlier
You,
motion.
what's your position?
Oh, I vote for it.
You vote for it, so we got 3. Steve, what do you think?
Well, I reluctantly vote for it, but I don't think he's met all the criteria. I don't think he's, looked at all the options to get the setback.
Okay, so it's 4-1, it's granted?
3-1.
3-1. No, Steve said he'd grant
I'll
it.
vote for it reluctantly.
He
That'd be
reluctantly,
4-0 then.
4-0, can you believe it?
You didn't get a math degree, you got a geology degree.
And engineering too?
Yeah, I mean, you should know basic math.
Yes, I do. 4-0. So, here's what we need to do.
Emperor.
Emperor.
Well,
Lori writes up a little blurb for us, and you take that to the registry of deeds, and that is your approval, and forever, ever, somebody can see that we granted a variance. Make sure you put it in the registry
yeah,
of deeds.
that's what I was gonna say. There was some discussion about perhaps this had been allowed before, but there's no record of it. Make damn sure you get this.
This meeting must go into the registry of deeds,
Okay.
okay?
What I'm gonna
Got it.
prepare for you is called a certificate of zoning variance, and I will get that right out to you.
It'll take a
Great.
couple of days, maybe she'll have it tomorrow. She's wicked.
I've got to sign it.
Takes 2 days.
You do?
Yeah, I bring it to you. I'll bring it to you at your,
Yeah.
when I can get it to him.
All right, and with that, I vote we adjourn. All in favor, all opposed, done, we're out of here.
Okay, who
Thank you very
seconded
much.
that?
I appreciate it.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you.